Hello, welcome back to another episode of Play It Up podcast. With me this week is it's a bit different. I actually have my two co-hosts, so there's three of us now. So as usual, I'm Sean.
Yeah, I'm Neil.
And I'm Mike.
Yeah, so we've got Sean, Mike, and Neil now. That's the trio going forward. So usually we'll have all three of us, but we just have to see how we go with our schedules and then see what happens. Yeah. So thanks for joining me, guys. And again, I've said it before, but this was your idea in the beginning, Neil, the podcast.
Yeah.
I just thought that was an awesome idea, and you got quite busy, and I don't have the same commitments with kids and stuff, so I started it up, but now it's up and running, and I'm glad that you've wanted to join in, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Life got in the way there for a little while. So, but no, you've done a great job so far, man.
I'm trying. So this is episode 6. It's kind of cool. I feel like things are becoming like in the flow a little bit more. I'm trying to do it kind of regularly. I don't have like a let's do one every week or anything like that, just because
you don't want it to become like a job.
Yeah, exactly. I want to keep it fun. But yeah, this week we're going to be a couple ideas I had that I wanted to talk about was sort of like a deep dive on collecting in general, collecting retro games or video games in any form, because I love modern games as well as retro games, and I know all three of us are collectors, but I thought it would be an interesting topic because I know, Mike, you're getting into more of downsizing a bit and getting into mini consoles, which is a great idea and also an interesting thing to talk about. And Neil, you've got a great collection, and I'm still working on building mine up, and it's pretty good as well. So talking about collecting, and what were the other topics I mentioned? Lame. I can edit this out. Was it collecting and we're actually we're actually recording in Netherworld at the moment, which is really cool. If you're just listening to this, you wouldn't know that. So if you do hear any background music or us yelling out to people to say hi, that's why. So I wanted to talk about Netherworld a bit and kind of what that means to us, and probably will resonate with a lot of people who listen to it about their local arcades and what it means to them and why.
And probably worth mentioning, Netherworld's currently shut right
Yes,
now.
yes. So we're recording here at Netherworld, but it is currently shut due to the current health crisis.
Yep. Exciting news though, it is opening next week. So just for on a restaurant kind of scale thing.
Yeah. That's
so like
right.
You can come in, sit down and eat. Yep. And I think they're going to have like consoles at tables, so they're going to wipe them down.
That's really cool.
So,
you can have like your own like little private gaming
like
session.
a little Nintendo 64,
I like that.
Mario Kart 20 or whatever.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
We should organise that actually.
Yeah, we should, man. Like, just to give back to Netherworld, but also to have a great time. Awesome. I think first of all I wanted to talk about what you guys are. That was the other topic. Yeah, what we're playing at the moment, things we're working on in terms of gaming. Mike, what are you playing at the moment? What have you been playing?
Yeah, a bit of Mario Land on the Game Boy.
Super Mario Land.
Learning how to speedrun it. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're a bit of a speedrunner, aren't you? Like you like to dabble
sort of, with games that I know really well, and I can have a casual dig back into. I like. Yeah. All right. It's just a fun challenge. It's a good memory test. And
True.
You can pick it up, you can play for like 5-10 minutes, get a bit of practice in.
Do you find it really satisfying sort of learning the pattern and then just executing that?
That's it. It's super frustrating at the very start when you don't know the patterns, you don't know where to go, you don't know when to slow down, you run, or when to jump vertical instead of jump on a big arc or...
Learning curve.
Yeah, that's it. Like, especially a couple of levels early on, you got big platforms going up and down. And I only just realised this week that you can... run full speed off a platform, but you have to jump halfway through the top platform over here to jump onto one of like the elevator platforms, and then as soon as you touch the top one, you have to jump straight again to be able to make the jump to the next section. Otherwise you're sitting there waiting and wasting seconds while the elevator's going up and down. Yeah.
And every like millisecond counts, doesn't it?
Yeah,
when it comes to speed running. From what I've seen, like a record gets broken by a few milliseconds.
Yep.
And that's crazy to think that
Yeah.
There's that little like margin for error. It's nuts, man.
So yeah, a bit of Tetris 99 on the Switch.
On the Switch.
On Ree's Switch.
How good is it?
It's addictive as.
Shout out to Ree for getting a Switch, by the way. Mike's lovely wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can send junk to other people.
Yeah. We haven't figured that out yet. We just
okay.
choose random opponents to give our lines to.
Oh, right. So when I got into it, I watched a video of like sort of because I didn't understand. I was like, so how do I send junk to people? So if anyone listening doesn't know, Tetris 99 is just a free game on Switch. You can play it online. And it's basically Battle Royale Tetris.
Yeah.
99 people playing Tetris, and you knock people out by, if you get a double, or you do something fancy like a T-spin, which is when you spin a block sort of and tuck it in, you send crappy blocks to other people. Like it just pushes their stack up. And when I watched a video about that, they say at the start to go for, I can't remember, but like attacking when it looks like you're going to die. If you attack attackers, that's the best way to survive, because the people that are attacking you, if you're sending them junk, they might stop sending you stuff. There's more to it, but yeah, and going for KOs, because then you get power-ups. I think the more badges and stuff you get for knocking people out, you get you can send more junk to people. So Tetris 99.
Yep. And a lot of Mortal Kombat as well lately.
Nice.
Got a competition coming up next month that some of the Mortal Kombat guys have organised, and it's Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice: Gods Among Us, which I don't think it is Mortal Kombat. I think
it's made by
Marvel, DC or something?
It's DC, yeah,
right,
and it's made by the Netherrealm, I think. Is it Netherrealm Studios that doing Mortal Kombat?
Yep. And Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 as well.
Dude, that's a good lineup for a fighting game.
Yeah,
that's cool. Is that with Buzz and?
Yeah, Buzz and all his hardcore Mortal Kombat buddies.
Nice, dude.
So I'm probably going to be bottom ranked, but I should be able to give a good fight to a couple of them. So I've been practicing 9. I bought John McIntyre is such a good guy, but I was like, it's MK11's half price EB Games. It's $30. Do you want to go halves? He's like, yeah, sure, no worries. So I bought it. And then he decided to pay for it all and just give it to me. Because he hasn't got a PS4 as well. But when he wants to practice, he'll like come around and we'll practice. So learning that as well. So a lot of learning on MK11.
Shout out to John for that. Good on you, man.
Yeah, what a legend. And a fair bit of learning on MK9 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Like I've pretty much got the skills I'll carry in.
How are you finding the new 9 and 11? Because they're recent games, aren't they? Like the last couple of years.
Yeah. 9 was just Mortal Kombat. It wasn't Mortal Kombat 9, but it just happened to be the 9th in the series.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like the reboot, I guess.
Yeah.
That was a while ago now. Maybe coming up to 10 years.
2011.
Right. Yeah, like 9 years ago.
Yeah. And it was banned in Australia.
Yeah, when it first came out.
Yeah,
because we didn't have an R rating.
I got a copy from US, which was nice.
I did too. Nice, man. That's great.
That's pretty much the most of what I've been playing.
Who's your main character that you use
in Mortal Kombat?
In the iterations?
Yeah, in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, it'll be Smoke and Cyrax.
Cool.
They're like those robot.
Kind of. They are
yellow robot.
Good, quick, diverse. Yeah.
Nice.
Good against human opponents, because especially Cyrax, because people aren't used to going against Cyrax as a human opponent. So it's good, you can catch him out a bit.
Because people don't use him that much?
No.
Right.
No.
So Smoke's a human, isn't he? But he looks like Scorpion, but has smoke coming out of him?
No, Smoke is a cyborg.
A cyborg,
so he's
another
like Cyrax.
Right.
Yeah. He's like his version in MK3 and Ultimate is the cyborg version.
I think maybe he is human in other versions, or at least he looks like a human.
Yeah. In MK2 he was human. Ultimate Mortal Kombat Trilogy, you can choose him as a human as well.
Right.
And it's just like Scorpion, but a black outfit. Hey?
Yep.
How do you think they have they made them well? Do they feel like a Mortal Kombat game?
Yeah, especially the new ones. Like after the whole PS2, Xbox era of Mortal Kombat games, I sort of went off the path and down like RPG elements and.
Yeah, I remember there was like a Sub-Zero game.
Yeah, and it was full 3D modelled characters. It wasn't all 2D. Like they made Mortal Kombat 4, which was a full 3D character, but it was played on a 2D plane. It wasn't so much. It still felt like a 2D.
Yeah, okay.
But with 3D one, they're like big, they're chunky, they sort of look a bit lumbery.
Yeah.
So Mortal Kombat 9 does feel a little bit like fat, like chunky wide.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it feels lumbery, but the gameplay is fast. It's just because the sprite, the animations of the characters are big.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because they are chunky.
So there's a bit of it's like Tekken. There's like a bit of body movement before like the actions and stuff.
Yeah, a bit of wind up.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. Nice. Yeah, I love Mortal Kombat. And it's probably my second favorite fighting game series. Street Fighter is definitely my first.
Yeah.
You're a fan of Street Fighter as well, hey?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not as much as Mortal Kombat, but still.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So we should play after this.
Yeah. Definitely.
Why not? Okay.
That's
Cool.
been it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, you want to fill us in, Neil? What's the Wonder Boy been playing?
I've been a dream of mine is to break the Ghosts and Goblins world record. So like I've been working hard on that. I'm pretty
That's huge, man.
I'm very far off it, but it's going to take a lot of time because it's a pretty brutal game, especially with the RNG element to it.
I'll just jump in quickly and say that Neil already has officially still got the Wonder Boy world record, yeah?
Officially, I've got it, yeah.
Cool.
There's a couple of boys down
on the
in
arcade?
Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of boys doing well in Sydney who have broken the record on bootleg. So, yeah. That's exciting for them.
That is, man.
Yeah.
So once they get their hands on something legit, then they can
definitely
attempt to beat it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's cool.
So
passing the torch.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So
passing the skateboard.
So yeah, I've been practicing really hard on trying to get back to putting in an hour a night into ghosties. That struggling to find the time a little bit, but getting there. And I always have like a game on the side just to break things up a bit. So I've actually been playing a bit of Crazy Kong.
I haven't played it yet. I've been meaning to.
Yeah.
It's like...
Is it fun, man?
It's like Congo Bongo.
It's like playing Donkey Kong on an acid trip.
Nice.
Wow.
Like
that's how I usually play Donkey Kong.
There's a lot of it's much easier. Like, so there's only 4 barrels on the barrel boards at one time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's way easier. Because you can get up to
however,
like 10 or something, right? On normal Kong?
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Feels like a lot.
Yeah, you can get a lot.
And you need to watch like 3, levels above you.
Yeah.
But Donkey Kong himself on the barrel board only has 2 actions. So it's not as like, how he has the barrel in front of him sometimes, and that's when you usually move. He doesn't actually have that, so that makes it a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
Because you can't actually see when he drops barrels as quickly. Yeah. The other thing is the hammer. When you get the hammer, it doesn't actually have like the sound that comes with the hammer.
Oh, the
yeah. So it's harder. Like there's just no sound, so it's harder to time when the hammer's gonna end.
Because I think I use a lot of the sound for.
Yeah, because
feel
like
it out by the tune and how many times it repeats.
That's it. You get a sense for the time from the sound.
Yeah.
But you don't have that with
I guess that's why it's called Crazy Kong.
It's just tripping, man. And like, and the same with the springs. So
the springs?
There's only 2 springs, which I've only just found out. There's only 2 springs on the board at the one time. So if you wait for the second spring to go, that's when you can get up the ladder safely.
Oh, like every
is
time?
There you don't have that strict timing that you have in the normal Donkey Kong?
No.
Oh, yes.
You can just run after the second spring. Cool. Which I've only recently found that out.
Wow.
So the real hard board for it is the rivets, because it's the normal rivet board, but again, there's no sound with the hammer.
Okay.
So that's where you can...
So you've got to kind of play it extra safe.
Yeah.
And not be sitting near a ladder hoping one of them comes down at the end and you can hit it. Yeah, okay.
And the Pie Factory only has 2 of the fires on it.
Oh, cool.
So
hey, nice.
That's a much easier board as well.
Only 2 fireballs?
Yeah.
Instead of 5?
Yeah. So...
Dude, a Pie Factory really just grinds my balls. I really don't enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah. It's
same.
It's satisfying, and sometimes it's super easy. You'll get like 3 or 4 in a row where you just
freebies
fly.
every time.
Yeah. Other times 3 or 4 of them come down, and it's just brutal.
Yeah.
Man.
It's so
only 2.
Yeah. So the levels that I'm dying on is barrels and the rivets. because the springs and the pies are actually much easier on Crazy Kong.
Okay.
So yeah, this idea actually came from listening to this podcast when you were talking to Kibby and Johnny about
Oh, yeah, the first episode.
And Johnny was like, "Oh, you should go for a Crazy Kong kill screen because it's a good."
That doesn't sound like Johnny.
It's a good. Yeah, he said it was like a good starting.
But how would Johnny actually say it though?
Oh, a diamond!
Shout out to Johnny.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really fun. Yeah, that's
nice.
It's a great game.
So Crazy Kong, and you're working on Ghosts and Goblins, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's gonna be a long time before I crack that egg. It's a good 12 months of solid play, I reckon.
Wow, you'll get there.
Yeah, hopefully. I've actually.
It's a tough one, and that's like such an iconic game, like to beat a record of something that famous.
Yeah,
it's huge, man.
Yeah, well, I've actually had a lot of fun finding new things with Ghosts and Goblins. So there's a couple of areas that I'm doing things that I haven't seen before,
right?
In the way of point pressing, and also just like,
and that could be setting you apart.
Yeah, well, like I think lots of people know how to play through Wonder Boy,
right?
Because it's just so linear.
Yeah, okay.
But Ghosts and Goblins, I don't think people have really put a lot of time into trying to work out different points.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's been fun. The more I play, the more I learn. So
nice, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Just figuring it all out, like on your own, figuring stuff out. When's that game released?
86.
86. So it's like it's older than me.
Yeah.
and you're figuring stuff out about it that maybe no one else has. That's really cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I think that's that's where I get a lot of joy and
satisfaction.
Out of these games is like getting stuck on a certain place for like hours on end, and then finding out how to crack it on your own without looking up anything like any manual or anything. That's where it's at.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Just grinding it, figuring it out, just toying with it. Like, I wonder what happens if I do this. Kind of thing.
Totally.
Finding exploits. That's cool, man. Nice. Yeah. Nice. Well, I've been playing.
What have you been playing, Sean?
Thanks for asking, Mike. I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2, which I'll probably be playing for a while still because I sort of play other games with that at the same time. Like, I'll play that for a bit, but I've been playing Tetris a lot.
Ooh.
Still play Tetris on NES. Like, it's just pick up and play. You can play it for 5 minutes and have fun. Donkey Kong, not as much. I've been slowing down because it was becoming a grind, and now when I am playing, I'm actually really enjoying it. Instead of like, I feel like I have to play again because I'm trying to get a kill screen. So yeah, looking forward to doing that. Just getting a kill screen still. Definitely still I'm going to do it. So Johnny was actually over the other night and we played a few games because he picked up
Batman and
Moonwalker. Yeah. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, man, hilarious. So
that cat.
Dude.
So funny.
Shout out to Ben, who one of the owners of Netherworld. He was selling off a bunch of stuff, and Johnny managed to pick some up. Yeah, and I'm actually picking some up today.
Yeah, nice.
So Michael Jackson's Moonwalker and Batman I bought from Eddie Retro at Green Slopes. Which is just a retro shop here in Brisbane. Shout out to Eddie. Thanks for that, man.
Legend guy,
Good bloke. Yeah, good deals.
Amazing stuff. Always in stock as well.
Yeah, he has a lot of stuff.
Really good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So we played... Yeah, Michael Jackson's Moonwalk is actually a pretty good game. Yeah, right. It's funny, and the music's really cool. So it's like, 8 or 16-bit versions of his songs of Michael Jackson. So it starts off with Smooth Criminal. Yep. So it's like... And it's pretty cool, and you're like, I wonder if there's any more music in the game. But as you move on, it changes to different tracks.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
The funny thing about the game is, like, not just the moves and stuff. Yeah, the moves he does are hilarious. Like, if you're just standing there and you push up, he just grabs his crotch and does a little hump and goes, ooh! It doesn't do anything, but it's like a move in the game.
Yeah.
It's just like... okay, Michael, maybe
Kind
he
of
has
like
something to do with the development. He was like, I really want to have my
Well, like that was like
I really want
a.
to have my signature crutch move in
Yeah,
there.
but it is so signature. Like,
yeah.
So it's almost like a taunt, I suppose.
Yeah,
or like, yeah.
And I think he does the hat thing at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like, oh!
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the big in the 16-bit era to have the characters on games, especially 16-bit, to do something when they're not doing anything.
True.
Yeah, and to give
Oh,
them-
you mean like the
yeah.
timeout?
Yeah,
Like,
when
where
they're sitting
like
there,
the-
like,
the-
like
it's
Sonic
like-
tapping his foot.
Yeah.
And look, yeah. So I think this though, you actually have to push
Earthworm
a
Jim pulls
command.
himself out and like skipping ropes himself.
That's right. That's so cool. Oh yeah, there'd be so many of those.
I think Boogerman picks his nose.
Oh right.
Yeah, well, he's Boogerman.
That makes sense.
Right.
So who's Boogerman? I don't even know.
He's just one of the 60s. It was like Earthworm Jim style platformer.
Oh really?
Dude called Boogerman, yeah.
Oh cool. I have to look into
This could be like a whole new show, like what characters do where you don't press any
Yeah,
buttons.
the old
like,
timeout
just- yeah.
animations.
Yeah,
Like, so this one, I think though, you actually have to push a command to make him do it.
Oh,
So if you stand
yeah.
there and you push up or something, he just keeps going like, oh,
That's amazing.
And the funny thing is though, you know, everyone knows Michael Jackson's history, but this
Yeah.
game is centered around him saving children.
Yeah.
You know, which at the time they would have just been like, oh cool, Michael Jackson's saving kids, but now it has like that different tone to it because of what he was accused of, and
Totally.
yeah.
Yep.
But it's still a good game, like, and it's just good fun, and it's a platformer. When you kick people, they just like rocket out of the screen.
It was the best.
It's hilarious.
Does
And-
he moonwalk like just
think-
naturally? Like when you press
Oh, like-
across, like does he
It's just
moonwalk
moonwalking
across?
everywhere.
I think there's a move you can do where he moonwalks.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
But he does like walk like super stylish.
Like he's
Yeah.
like
And you can throw your hat. You can do like a twirl and you throw your hat.
And so when he kicks,
So
like
funny.
sparkles come off his.
Yeah, he has like sparkles that come out, man.
Yeah.
He's pretty badass.
You could imagine when that came out how big it would have been
Yeah.
though. Like
Oh, for sure, man. And it's like still like a $60 game
Whoa.
Yeah.
in the box
my
on
God.
Mega Drive.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been huge because Michael Jackson like was and will forever be huge in the music scene, and like
Yep.
a video game, you know, Sega was with a Mega Drive was blowing up.
yeah.
Michael Jackson was big at the time,
Yeah.
and now you can play as him
Yeah.
and do
King
his
of pop,
moves.
Yeah.
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 And I mean,
And listen to the music.
Yeah.
While you play.
Yeah.
And I think he really liked video games. I remember hearing Michael Jackson because he liked to try to like have some sort of childhood while he was an adult because
Yeah.
he didn't really get to have one. So I think he
Yeah.
really liked video games. He was involved in Sonic.
Yep. He was involved in Space Channel 5 as well for Dreamcast.
Oh, really?
He did the music for it.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool, man.
It's a weird game, but yeah, it's cool.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a weird game as well.
Yep, yep.
I wish that it came to a level where you're fighting zombies, and I just thought, oh, why isn't he like dressed as Thriller? You know, the
Yeah.
Thriller outfit in this one.
Yeah. That would
He's
be
the
cool.
same outfit. I didn't finish the game, but
Oh, like the red was it the red jacket that he wears
in
Or-
Thriller,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of looks like Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
from Raw.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I didn't even know it could be the same outfit. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's
Super tight leather.
yeah, it's looking badass. And we played Batman as well on NES, which
Yeah.
I had the box for a long time,
Yep.
just the box on its own, because I got it from Eddie. I was buying some boxes off him because I just asked, "Oh, do you have any boxes lying around with no games?" So I thought I'd get them and then fill them with the games at some point, and finally got the game for it.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, no trouble finding carts of games.
Yeah,
It's the boxes and
the boxes are way
inlays.
more rare, man. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So yeah, great game, Batman. It's a good platformer. You have several different moves. One of them's a boomerang, which is kind of cool. You know, being Australian, he throws it and it hits him on the way through,
Batarang.
goes through them, and then comes back.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's supposed to be a batarang, but it's like shaped like a
Ah.
boomerang.
Yeah.
You do have a batarang, I think, in the Game Boy version.
It's
They're actually different
the
games.
batarang's like a little bat-shaped thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what a
Yeah.
batarang
Yeah.
usually is. Yeah. So this one is it looks more like a boomerang.
Ah, okay.
Maybe it's supposed to be a batarang though. I don't know. But you really, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You have different and the platforming's really good. It's challenging. It's quite tough,
Yep.
and you can actually jump. You know how in Mario games, like at least the more modern ones, you could jump on the walls,
Yep.
and you jump from wall to wall. You
Yeah.
do that in this.
Oh, cool.
Kind of like Ninja Gaiden,
Yep.
and that's really cool. And it's I haven't finished it yet. Me and Johnny got up to like the end of like World 3, and we just kept getting our asses kicked, and we decided
it
to
was-
play some Michael Jackson.
From memory, it was a brutal game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. The Game Boy version I finished recently, That's another game I was playing but finished. That was really tough, the last couple of levels.
Yeah.
And when you would die, you would go back. I think you didn't have unlimited continues, so you had to kind of like do well throughout the game, get to the end, and then finish it without dying too much. But the last 2 levels were like pretty brutal, like the timing and everything. This one doesn't seem to be as brutal, and continues are unlimited,
Oh, nice.
which is fine.
That's handy
like-
for an old. That's pretty rare for an old 8-bit game.
Yeah, usually you have like 2 or 3 continues.
Yeah. And you're like, fuck you, if you haven't learned this game, try again from the very start.
Yeah, go again. Which makes you like be really careful.
Yeah,
you
true.
know? Kids these days, they don't get how careful you had to be back in the day.
Take 1 step, autosave. Yes!
Yeah,
One
yeah.
step achievement.
Yeah, that's it. Get that little hit of dopamine. Yes!
Blink.
Yeah, it comes up on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
Da-ding. So that's what I played the other night.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I've been playing. Metroid. I was playing Metroid on the Switch, on the NES like online thing, and that game is brutal. But once you start to get through it and you get your power ups, it's becoming a lot more fun. I wrote it off. I was like, this isn't fun. I don't want to play it. That little sort of gaming club we've got where we play a game once a month that Jack set up. Shout out Jack down in Melbourne. Jack Philippi. So because of Metroid was the first game, I started playing it, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to keep playing this, because I was focusing on, like, I guess, Red Dead and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put much time into it, and it wasn't fun. But then we had the chat about it, and the other guys were saying like, once you get this power up, it's pretty fun. It's actually decent, and I'm learning that now. It's actually quite a good game.
Yeah.
It's quite different. Like you.
Yeah, I've never played it. I tried it as well for a bit. Never played anything like it.
Yeah, it's different. Like you pick up your power ups, and then from that point on, even if you get game over, you still keep that power up.
Yep.
And when you do die, you go back to like the start of that section wherever you were.
Right.
Playing it without a map that would be a task. You would have to almost like have a mental map or draw your own map. But I'm playing it with a map.
Yep.
And because it's like a maze, man. It's hectic.
Yeah.
And to just like trial and error, like going back and forth trying to figure it out, like
Which I assume like is how it's like kind of designed to be played. It's supposed to be like a maze that you're trying to trudge through.
Yeah, that's it. I think so.
Like there wouldn't have been a maze, like there wouldn't have been a map available with the game.
I don't think so, but I think there might have been like a strategy guide or something
Right.
that got released with it. And people back then, when there's not as many games coming out as there is now, you're a kid, you've got heaps of time, you just play it, and you play it with your mates, play and learn, and then you end up having this mental map. But I try not to play a game unless it's fun, even though I'm stubborn. If I start a game, I want to finish it. But this one, like, it wasn't fun. So adding the map makes it a lot more like approachable as a game, a lot more enjoyable. So I'm like, well, if it makes a game more fun, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it's not really counted as beating it, I guess, if you're using a map. But then, Super Metroid is known as the better game, and that has a bit of a map with it. But I don't think they could support that on the NES, maybe with the memory that they had at the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I've been playing. Just check how far we're through. That's about, half an hour. That's kind of the intro.
That went quick.
Yeah, it goes fast, eh? Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun with mates. And we are back. We've got beers, and we're ready to chat. During the break, I think Mike made a discovery.
Yeah, I'd like to recall my words about saying Michael Jackson did the music for Space Channel 5. Because he didn't actually do the music for it.
How dare you lie to us, Mike?
He was just in it.
Do we get an
as a character.
apology? Or like,
I was like, thought in my mind, I was
Tarnish
like,
his name.
God damn. But I did find out just then he is a character. He's like a player. He's a character in one of the games.
Oh, okay, cool.
And some of the Space Channel 5 levels, scenes where you play the game are based on some of the styles of his music videos from like the later 90s, early 90s, yeah.
Oh, well, that's super interesting anyway.
So, yeah.
That's really cool.
Sorry, everyone.
Well, thanks for joining us, Mike.
Illegitimate.
Illegitimate.
This will be your last podcast. Neil and I had a chat. Dude, I probably said so many things that are wrong. Like, I always, because I never know for sure, so I'm always like, I think there's this about
Yeah,
it.
for sure. Yeah.
We're all wrong, man. It happens.
That's it.
I wanted to get into now talking about just collecting games in general. I'm sure a lot of people who are listening, they love collecting games, whether you play them all, whether you just like having them on the shelf, whether you love the artwork, whether you're into the music of the games, like all of that.
Or if you want to get a complete set of something. That can be
to me, that's I can see why people want to do that, because I used to collect trading cards, and I would love getting a full set of NBA cards from 1994 or Pokemon cards. I did have a full set of the base set of Pokemon cards, by the way, and my stupid brother traded a Zapdos, or Zapdos, depending on how you want to say it, for another Charizard. And I was like, "What are you doing, man? We've finished. We've got the whole set."
No.
Anyway. We still don't.
So
talk.
you still got a lot? Do you still have mainly the main set?
I sold it back in the day. I've got a bunch of Pokemon cards now, which I'm actually going to sell because I want to focus on games. But we had the whole set except Zapdos, but we had 2 Charizards, which really was a pretty good trade. Like a Zapdos for a Charizard, that's a good trade because that's a more expensive card. But when you've got the full set, you're going to get rid of one for one you've already got. Unless, maybe it was better condition. Anyway,
go on.
Collecting games. I love it. To me, playing them is first and foremost. I want to collect either something I have a connection to because I had it when I was a kid. Unless it's terrible, then I'll get rid of it. But if it's even halfway good and I feel like I have a connection to it, I want to look at it and just feel happy just looking at that cartridge or box, I love trying to find good deals, and I love even the sounds the cartridges make when you sort of are flicking through them. If you're holding a few in your hand, that plastic on plastic sound like of a Super Nintendo cartridge. Things like that I love. How they look on a shelf lined up, putting a cartridge or a CD into a console. I'm all for digital games. It makes sense in this day and age. I'm all for emulation if that's the way you want to go because of money or convenience. But if you're a collector and you connect with a certain system or a certain game, you do want to have that physical thing that you actually own that you can look at. Even if you're not playing it, you can put it in and play. You still get the same feeling when you're putting it in the original hardware, So that's sort of what I love about gaming and collecting games. And I'm still going to be collecting a lot. Sell what I don't, buy lots, sell what I don't really want. And if I, for some reason, look at a game, I'm like, I'm never really going to play that again. I'll get rid of it, have it on the shelf for a bit. But yeah, that's sort of what I love about it. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys love about collecting games and consoles?
Yeah, well, I've got a fair bit of console collection. Mainly, I do have a lot of games, but a lot of them are boxed up just because of space,
right,
kind of thing. But we've got.
Can you run through a few of them for us? If you know all of them, I'll be super impressed.
No. So we've got about. From last checking, I think we've got 29 consoles. So the VIC 20
nice.
is
VIC
probably
20? Wow.
is probably the rarest. It's
That's cool.
not too well known for actually good gameplay, unfortunately. But
is that a computer?
Yeah.
More of a...
It's a Commodore computer.
Yeah,
before the
yeah.
Commodore 64. Yeah.
Right.
So VIC 20. The main one that we're missing is the Commodore 64.
Okay.
Which would hopefully pick up. But we've got a couple of the Ataris are one of my favourite consoles. So we've got the Atari Junior,
the 2600 Junior. Yeah, nice.
And we've also just got the 2600, not the wood grain one, but the pure black one.
Vader.
The Vader model.
Yeah.
That's the one I've got.
Yeah.
AV modded as well.
Yeah, ours isn't modded, but
original, baby.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
that's probably till.
I'm just too stupid to know how to tune it in, so I just got it modded.
Yeah, but I'm pretty happy you got a Famicom today from you.
What? Who would sell you such a terrible console?
But,
It's actually a great console. Great games.
So have you modded that one?
No, it's not.
If you do want it modded, Eddie. He can
true.
do it. Eddie
Yeah.
has a guy that mods them. Yeah, anyone listening, if you're in the Brisbane area, if you want your console AV modded retro console or fixed or anything like that, Eddie Retro at Greenslopes can hook you up with a really fair price. And like, I've had my 2600 and my Famicom AV modded, and they work great, and it's way more convenient, and the picture looks better, and the sound, picture and sound's a bit better.
Yeah.
But that's if you want that or you want the original. Original's good because that's how you played it when you were a kid,
That's
right?
when I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's alright. I was just about to say how we discovered on the Famicom how that you could actually talk through the controllers. Like there's a little mic on there.
Yep.
You're having
And it can actually lead to some buzzing interference. Sometimes I noticed when I play it.
Shit.
So I had to reset it or turn the mic off because it's taking in sound, so it might pick up a frequency or something, and you'll have buzzing come through the speakers. I thought there was an issue with my Famicom, and I was like, it clicked it could be the microphone, and that was it. Yeah. But it's cool. You can actually speak into it, and it comes through the speaker. Say me and Neil, we were doing that after the Wonder Boy podcast that we did, or me and you podcast. I could say quietly into the mic something, Neil's a dickhead, and you wouldn't be able to hear it, but it'd come through the speakers, and you would hear it. It was really funny.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But
So you got heaps, man.
So Vic 20, 2600, a couple different versions, Famicom.
Just like the Master System, 1 and 2.
Is it the original Master System?
1 and 2.
Yeah, nice. Man, that's cool.
They're two of my favourites. I was a Sega boy growing up. So,
nice.
Yeah, we even got I think we've got 3 Mega Drives, so 2 of the different styles of Mega Drives. So I can't really tell you too much about, but there's one kind of with a dome head.
Yep.
And
got the circle on.
Yeah, and then it must be.
That's got the
maybe
volume
it's
control.
the Mega Drive 2.
I think it says HD graphics on it or something as well.
Yeah.
The Mega Drive 2? I just recently got that.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. That's what I played Mickey Mouse Castle Illusion on. That's a game I played recently and finished.
Yeah.
Good game, yeah.
But it's funny, when you collect consoles or games, I don't know if you guys find this, but a lot of the time you do get free stuff because people just know that you collect. So they're just I've got a couple of consoles lying about. And,
I haven't had that much.
Yeah. So I got
Really?
that. I got that last last month.
Oh, me
So,
too.
yeah.
You go on. You tell
Yeah.
Now
So
I feel
I got
bad 'cause
a
I charged you for that Famicom.
so
Good price though.
about a month ago I got the original Wii, which I didn't actually have, so I had the special edition red Wii.
I'd say that's retro now.
Must be
2007 or
it
something
must
it
be
came
good.
out?
I think the Wii is kind of basement pickup. If you're looking for a Wii now, or if you want to
get one so cheap.
they must be so cheap.
Yeah. Eddie actually told me a story that cash converters, he must go there a lot. They called him up one day and they were like, "Man, we have so many Wiis here. $5 each. Come get them."
Yeah.
Because they had too many, so
Wow.
Eddie just went and bought a shitload of Wiis.
Yeah.
Sorry if I wasn't supposed to tell that story, Eddie.
So I got
Keeping it real here on the Play It Up podcast.
I got the PS2, the mini at the time, I suppose it was called. So
PS2 Slim.
PS2 Slim.
The real
Oh,
thin
it's
ones.
super small. That's a
crazy, man.
proper
It's
slim, man.
crazy. I can't
Compared to
believe
the original PS2,
Yeah.
the form factor, it's a quarter of the size almost.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
tiny, man.
Yeah.
Now a slim comes out and it's 30% smaller or something.
I got the black GameCube where we only had the purple one before. So
Nice.
that was another edition.
So you've got both.
Yeah.
You've got two. So
Yeah.
you don't just get one version of a console.
No,
You
I
like
try
to
and collect.
collect. Wow, the
Yeah.
variants.
Yeah. I would like to
Cool, man.
I'd love to have the dream would be to have all of the N64s as much as they get crap, but all the
every color of the rainbow.
I don't think there was
You'd be king of the
a
nerds.
more released variant console.
Oh,
Yeah, I
console,
don't think there was. They
yeah.
really capitalized on that, and they're worth a bit, man.
Yep.
I was in Super Retro at Rabina the other day, and they've got a boxed Ice Blue for $420 or something.
Yeah, that's insane, man. Yeah,
I
crazy.
mean that's what they go for.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's nice condition box and everything. then you've got to, if you really want to get all of them, man, you've got to get the Japanese ones, which ice blue on top, grey on the bottom. They're different. They don't have the whole
and
console.
they're real Pokemon 64, not just the stickers on your 64 that are Pokemon stickers, like the actual.
Yeah.
No, we got that.
There's like the molded Pikachu into it,
yeah.
And the 64's like bigger.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's a bit different to what we've got. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jen got the Nintendo. Jen won the Nintendo 64.
Another amazing story.
Yeah, we spoke about that on the other podcast, right? I think.
She won like the Nintendo
TV,
64 Cheese TV pack.
And you guys still have that?
Yeah.
And got it signed by Jade and
Dude, that.
No, we talked to Jade.
We talked to them. Right.
You should have got it signed, man. That thing belongs in a museum. Man.
It was
That's so
I remember
cool.
it's weird. Like so.
You would have married Jen no matter what.
So it's funny that like Jen is a part of my history before I met her, because I remember like calling up that hotline wanting that bloody Nintendo 64 pack, like
and she,
so bad.
She undercut you. And
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but yeah.
Did you almost break up with her when you found out she like stole that 64?
No,
from
man.
your childhood?
I was like, I'm gonna marry that girl,
so I can have that 64. Oh, shout out to Jen.
Yeah. Good egg.
Yeah, she's a good egg, that one. Oh man, that's great. So do you have every Sega console and every Nintendo console and every Microsoft console and every Atari? Is that sort of what you're aiming for? Or?
Like Aussie release.
Yeah, so I don't, but
No.
that would be the dream. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's what we'll go for. So the next one that we're going to get on our list, hopefully, is Mike's Commodore 64, which I feel like the main consoles. That's kind of
It's a big one.
Yeah,
Is that kind of the last of the
that's
popular ones?
Personally, that's what I think.
Right.
So after that would probably be the Jaguar.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
if I was going
apparently only like 250,000 of those were made.
Right. That's why.
Which is a really low amount for a console, man.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
So I was listening to Arcade Attack. I'm listening like to all their old episodes, and that's what they said.
Yeah.
Which is, it's if they're right, which they probably are, that's like a really low number.
How many thousands made it to Australia?
Yeah, exactly.
So
maybe that was just in the UK or something, but
not just that, man,
console.
but like people chuck this shit out. Just
like,
not knowing.
True.
Yeah, how many of because a certain percentage of those are just gone forever.
Yeah.
But when you think about something like a PlayStation, right? That's in the tens of millions or something.
Yeah.
I don't have the actual like stat, but I know that was a lot. And the Wii, one of the best selling consoles of all time.
That's
like
why
10 million.
That's why they're so
something like that, like a lot. So 250,000 when you think about it.
That's not a lot.
That's not much, man.
Yeah.
But that's a cool. Apparently, it's like got some decent games on it. And Rayman was originally an exclusive for the Atari Jaguar.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah. But then I guess because it failed, Ubisoft, as people call it, I call it
PlayStation.
Ubisoft. Like, I don't know if they had the license at the time, whoever was making it, but everyone else would. Yeah.
So after hopefully Mike's Commodore 64,
Nice.
the Jaguar will be on our list, and for the minis,
Boxed or just console?
Just console.
You just go because it's too expensive, to get all the boxes.
Yeah, and like I actually like pulling them out and playing them every now and then when I get the chance.
Right.
Like
Yeah, well, you are a gamer, man. You're not just a collector.
That's it. It's a hands-on collection kind of thing. Like I don't keep games. I know people do, but like
It's Mario.
I buy a game.
Sorry.
Yeah, every once in a while it's going.
That first block he hits is the coin block. And every now and then, the noise that comes out, nothing else comes out.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, if anyone's hearing a slight coin sound from Mario, because we're at an arcade and they've got it on the CRT on the NES. It's really cool.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, Neil.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, sorry. Yeah, no. I was just saying that it's a hands-on collection. It's not just a put behind.
It's not a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I fully understand that people do that with games, but like
for sure. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But personally, I like to physically play with the collection.
Use the media. It's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Use the physical article of it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it takes up a lot of space.
Yep.
Which sort of it makes sense with the mini consoles and stuff. But
Yep.
yeah, what was like one of your best finds or
Yes.
best deals or like best donations? You know, like I love this stuff.
Yeah, same.
I think it's pretty simple. I picked up like a Sega Master System 2. It was in like beautiful condition for $5 at a garage sale.
Oh.
Just like it was at a massive garage
nice,
sale.
man.
Just in it was in like this electronic section, and like people would have walked past it not even knowing what it is. I think
For sure, because it's kind of like it doesn't stand out. You know, it's a grey and black.
Yeah.
And a bit of red on there, right? The Master System 2.
Yeah.
Tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was probably my best pickup. When I was
That's awesome.
kid,
Yeah, I need one of those too.
Yeah.
when I was a kid, there was this. We were friends with these people who knew a guy who was like shutting down a warehouse, and we actually had a Commodore 64 at the time for $15 with 100 games.
Oh my god. 100 legit games.
100 legit games, yeah.
I remember you mentioning this, yeah.
And-
Because we say legit because Commodore 64 was one of the most like pirated
Yeah, 'cause it's
games.
so easy to copy,
easy
right?
Games, man.
Yeah.
No, these are
So
like
to see anyway,
these are like legitimate
Must make the
cassette
real games rare.
games.
Man.
And so this would have been to mid to late 90s, where like before like these guys were like they actually sold it as in, do you want like a really old computer?
Yeah,
Because,
right,
like,
yeah. Yep.
And well, like my brother was just like, yeah, like I've got $15, like let's buy this thing.
$15.
And we bought it home and like set it
all
up.
brand new stuff.
Yeah.
How many games?
100. So
Holy
like
cow,
yeah.
Did you say this was all brand new? Like sealed or?
No.
Just
this
like
is-
really good condition?
It was in really good condition.
Right.
I can't remember if it was sealed or not, but
Yeah.
Wow.
so it must have just been like an old warehouse out at like Albion when
Yeah.
Albion wasn't the Albion that it is today, kind of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's not as ritzy or lush. Or,
Right,
you know.
it was sort of like the sticks a bit.
It was
more
just
like,
an off suburb of the city.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, we got it for $15 and just like bought it home. We thought it was hilarious that like you had to put a tape in
Yeah.
and let it play,
Oh, dude.
and then like
Yeah, which still,
used
like,
to
was
run
One of
off
the
weird.
and,
weirdest
like,
things to do.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
still doesn't make sense to me. I don't
You
know.
used to like run off and play on the trampoline and come back half an hour later. Your game would be loaded on the screen.
Oh, does it take like ages to load?
Oh, it probably took 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes. Yeah, I loaded.
Seriously?
I loaded up one recently, just testing out the tape drive that I got with my one, and yeah, it took like 4 minutes for one game to load off one side of the tape.
And
Yeah.
nowadays, like, no one would wait for that, man.
Yeah,
No,
that's
No
it.
way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or you'd be like Netflix
Yeah,
while it's loading.
yeah. That's it.
Back then, you had like if that was a computer TV, there's no aerial, so
Yeah.
go and make a cup of coffee or something.
Yeah.
Make some toast.
Watch the actual loading
Yeah,
bar.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like.
So I don't know what happened to that, but that was like one of my
that's
childhood consoles.
Yeah, that's a childhood find.
That we had, and yeah, it blew our
Good
mind.
on your brother, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
That's so
$15.
cool. $15.
yeah.
So, if you were to just take a wild stab at like how much all of that would be worth now,
Holy
original
shit.
and all that, what do you think it'd be worth?
Mate, it was like a working Commodore 64 with cassette player, and it had like the floppy one as well.
Mm.
Like I think that was from memory. That's a separate kind of function itself. Mate, I would say $500 probably.
Original
or-
games, man. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
you would have a
original-
better ballpark of what it would be
Yeah.
worth.
Wow, dude.
But these are like, yeah, and there was like, it wasn't just us that got it. Like they were giving us this to just get rid of this
Wow.
warehouse.
To clear
where
an
they-
area of space.
Wow.
They must have been like, yeah. So these kids bought all this stuff and were profiting from giving it, like, and we were buying it for $15.
Oh wow, and they were
Whoa.
profiting.
They were profiting from it.
So they probably
Yeah.
bought it for like 10 or 5.
They must have, I don't know, they must have
Or
just
they
bought
bought
it as like a
bulk.
mass bulk and
Yep.
just
Wow.
like, just giving it away where they could.
I mean, $15 back then is still more than it is now. Still, that's cheap as for what you got.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's probably your best find, you reckon?
Yeah,
That you can
definitely.
think of?
Yeah, because like it was really funny because we bought this like it would have been just after we got the PlayStation 1 as a family, which would have been like 96, 97, I think.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And
If
then
I'm-
you went and got the Commodore.
Yeah, and
Which
then we
was
went
retro
back
at
to
the
the
time.
Commodore.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Man, still some good games on those old consoles. Like,
I don't think there's been a console that's brought out as many games as the Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Its library is
It's thousands.
Is it?
insane.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, they got like a port of
Absolutely
everything,
insane.
right?
Yep.
Of all the arcade games. And
Heaps. The Ghosts and Goblins port's really good.
I wonder when they stopped supporting it, making games for it.
That would be interesting.
Probably had a really long life cycle.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that we should know on this podcast, but we don't. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
And the homebrew scene is still going. They're still making new games for it. Like,
Is that right?
around the
There's
world.
still
Yeah,
people
yeah, yeah.
creating
That's
that?
cool. Yeah,
So-
people are
because
doing
it
that
was
for the Jaguar and stuff as
True,
well.
yep.
If you, as you were saying, you want a Jaguar, like there's
Right.
still games coming out.
Right.
Like in the UK, the Commodore 64 was their best console at the time.
Yeah.
Debatably versing the ZX Spectrum, which had different graphical capabilities, which some didn't like, some liked. But the Commodore 64 was the best seller.
Wow.
And it was so big over there that everyone, any age who had it back then, our age-ish now, older, younger, they're still into them.
Yeah, because they have those memories
Yep.
and connection. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah. So let's hear from Mike.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
why I thought this would be interesting with you is because you're downsizing your collection.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're still going to continue to buy more games. I assume you probably will, but I know you're going in more of the mini consoles,
That's
like the
it.
classic
Yeah,
NES,
yeah.
NES and NES and Mega Drive maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah. I've finished collecting, I guess. Like I've
Wow.
not finished. I've gotten almost everything I wanted
Okay.
in my gaming collection, and I've got it to experience it. That's the reason I bought it, was to play these things.
Yeah. Nice.
And now, like, I've got room for them all,
Yeah.
but I'm not appreciating them all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
And I feel like if I can pass on some of the hardware, the physical consoles, the games, the carts, the discs, the whatever,
Yeah.
to someone else who will appreciate them,
Yeah.
or will find something else to do with them, like I feel like they're wasted with me because I'm not
Right.
spending enough time,
Yeah. Okay.
because there's so many. I mean,
Yeah.
we all got a whole bunch of consoles and they play them all the time, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. You feel a bit of a duty to sort of pass it on.
to pass it on, because then
Yeah.
someone else might be able to pick it up. It'll go back into the market. Someone else will experience the original hardware, the original software, which is what I find is like an amazing feeling. And I
Yeah.
don't know why I liked that since PS1, because at the time I had my PS1, it was the current gen,
Right.
and I kept a couple of games, and then it was 2001, so we hadn't bought our PS2, but at that time I got the Atari, which was my best retro pickup.
Yeah. Right.
So that was at the Salvos in Midland,
Ooh.
Salvation Army store.
Op shop pickup.
Yep.
It's a dying thing.
I had no love for old games back then. I was
Right.
just like, current gen, these 32-bit graphics, realism. It's realism everywhere. It's like, oh man,
It looks real.
Yeah,
I can't even tell the difference.
yeah. So I was op shopping with my brother, and my oldest brother, he's like 8 years older than me.
Okay.
So we're walking through the salvo. He's like, "Oh, Mike, look, this is an old gaming console." I'm like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, it's an Atari." And it was in one of the like plastic Atari collector's suitcases.
Ah,
Like
man.
so.
Oh, nice.
clipped-
The briefcase.
Yeah,
kinda?
yeah. It fits your Atari large model, like the six switch or 4 switch Atari, and it has like slots for carts all down the sides. So you have your cartridges lined up, you have controllers lined up in front. The one weird thing it didn't have room for was the power pack, so you got to carry that separate. But
Okay.
everything else, and it was full when I found this Atari suitcase. So I had the Woody 6 switch,
Man.
like the first Atari that made it to Australia.
Yeah, yeah.
1977, 78 model, 79.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
It was full of carts, so I had like Donkey Kong, River Raid, Golf, a whole bunch, like Pele Soccer, which I don't know why I fell in love with. I had Joust. That game blows my mind on Atari.
Whoa.
So I wasn't into retro at all. And then I got the Atari and I was like, man, this gameplay is awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm used to like,
Yeah,
Resident Evil, Street Fighter Alpha,
Right.
Mortal Kombat 3, like that's gameplay as well. And I'm like, this is so good. And then I don't know why it clicked. I don't know why. but it clicked. I'm like, man, this old stuff is worth playing and worth enjoying.
Nice.
And that's when it started. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was $12 for that suitcase full of Atari stuff.
Man. So you got into it at the right time.
Yeah. Right.
Everything would have been
It was
dirt cheap.
Someone's deceased estate, or they're cleaning out their attic and just like shoved it all off to the salvos or whatever. And
Wow.
$12.
Totally. Yeah.
But
$12.
yeah,
Good find.
that was my best pickup. But yeah, and so since then I don't know, I just really appreciate the old games, and especially the old hardware, and that's why I collected, was to play it on a hardware.
Yep.
So now I've done so much of that in the past nearly 20 years.
Yeah, 2001, right?
I've been collecting for ages.
Yeah, you have, man.
But since I've done that, I've experienced so much, and now I'd like to pass the experience to someone else.
Nice.
To give them the chance to...
I'll be someone else.
Yeah, that's it. That's Commodore 64
And Neil
for
will take the Commodore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping to pick up all the Super Nintendo stuff from you. So
Yeah.
because that's probably my favorite console.
Yep.
I remember getting that for Christmas
Yeah.
and crying that night that I had to go to bed because all the older kids, because I'm like the second youngest in my family with 5 kids.
Yeah.
They got to stay up and keep playing, and I was such a little sook. I started crying when I had to go to bed. I remember playing Mario 2 on. I think we got Super Mario All Stars with it.
Yeah.
It probably was that one with the yellow box,
Yep.
the console. And man, yeah, dude. So that's probably why probably because I cried on Christmas. That's probably why it's one of my favorite consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must
that's
admit,
cool.
like, watching someone good play Mario is one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen.
Oh, it's satisfying,
Yeah. Like, even if, like,
Such a good
especially if
game.
they're, like, speed running.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
if they're
yeah,
good
they know
speed
every
running,
little
it's
jump.
like, yeah.
Oh
My
it's
God.
sick.
Have you seen the speedrunners do Super Mario 3 when it's on the ship and the cannonballs, and they're just jumping from cannonball to cannonball the whole level,
Yeah.
and just free life.
Really?
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to play.
Because obviously you can't speed run that level because it just goes the speed of the level. Because that one pushes you along. It's one of those levels, yeah.
Right.
So they have figured out
So they just hang around and float around and jump on every single cannonball.
and just get life
Yeah.
after life. Man, that's awesome.
So they've played it enough to know how to milk it to the max.
Wow. Well, my best find was... So I got back into collecting, or back into, not back into, but just into, I guess. I can't remember if I bought a Nintendo 64 to play like Mario Kart, or if I bought a Super Nintendo first. But I got both of them in the box. I remember that. And I think it might have actually been a PlayStation 1 when I got back maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, well.
Because I wanted to play like Point Blank and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it was a chipped PS1, came with a bunch of games, some legit, some copy.
Yep.
Still got that PS1. And yeah, then Super Nintendo and 64 after that or before, I don't know. Can't remember. But I do remember my best find was on... I don't know what. Maybe it was Trading Post even back then. Before Gumtree, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Gumtree. But it was 10 boxed Nintendo 64 games in really good condition. Total of $100 for all of them. And that was Ocarina of Time, Diddy Kong Racing, Donkey Kong 64, Mario Kart.
Some of those
Perfect
games,
Dark. So
The
one of
biggest
them...
hitters, yeah.
So yeah, some of them are worth 100 on their own.
Yeah.
Or almost 100 on their own. Yeah, and that was probably my best find that I can think of. I've still got those games. And yeah, I'm still looking for good finds, and it's harder to come by these days, but the hunt is fun, and even if you get a fairly decent deal, it feels good, and especially if it's a game you really want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I still love collecting and adding it, because I like collecting other things too, like comic books. You can read them. Trading cards, they're just fun to look at. They don't really have a purpose. You don't really do anything apart from look at them and collect them. But video games to me is the most useful thing to collect, because you can play it over and over again, and you can play it with friends.
You can enjoy it on a
it's
few
social.
levels.
Yeah, exactly. But a comic book you can kind of just read on your own,
Yep.
and then you might not want to read it again.
Or you
But
have
if
it
something's-
displayed up on something. And you
Yeah,
can see
exactly.
it,
And it has
looks
beautiful
cool.
artwork.
Yeah.
So comic books and video games kind of like a similar level, but video games, because you can play it with your friends
Yep.
and appreciate it in a social situation, is to me like that's the ultimate thing to collect and play and utilize, and I love it. I don't know if I'll ever stop. Like the passion that I have for video games is crazy. Like I probably think about them way too much, and sometimes I have to like remind myself that there's other things to focus on in life. I don't know if you guys have had that before, but
Yeah,
definitely.
because they're just so good, and you just get so passionate, and you want to be better, and you want to break records, or you want to just finish a game, and there's so many to play, and it just never ends, man. And it's great, but you do have to curb that at some point and balance out
take
your
adult
life.
responsibilities into account.
Yeah, have a girlfriend, have a wife or a life, kids or whatever. That all that stuff's important too, I guess.
Yeah, have a job,
have a job. Yeah, of course. How are you going to buy all these games without a job? You can't find everything for like $10.
Especially like it is getting harder, like to find those bargains.
Deals,
it is
because people are aware of what they cost now. Even
the internet.
I've been searching for CRTs, and they like the price of some people for putting on CRTs
because $50 or something. Even though like most people want to just get rid of them, you can still find the free ones.
Yep.
Which it's just more rare. Like it used to be just like, oh, I'm gonna get a CRT. There's probably like 10 on Gumtree at the moment. I'll just go get one. It's not like that anymore.
So I recently picked up two 13-inch CRTs that I've been looking for, and it's a really hard size to find because
it's a bit of a rare size.
Well, like lots of people have the big ones because like everyone upgraded to like a larger TV, and then like all the small ones get scrapped kind of thing. So I actually got them from Gympie. Like that's how far I'm kind of walking out to.
You drove to Gympie to get it?
I've got a friend bringing them down to Brisbane for me.
Nice.
So
you got the connections, mate.
Yeah,
nice.
That's it. But
old mate up in Gympie.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
nice, dude.
I'm sure to close the curtains and get some like sunlight right up.
Yeah, no worries, man. So
people are aware. Retro's the thing now. Like it's not.
Yeah, it's kind
back
of
in the day.
Well, then you have
when we were kids,
like where people are, this is worthless now.
Yeah,
I mean you have something like Pawn Stars, PAWN Stars.
Yep.
Where they had like the Mario copy for like, and they're asking $1 million for it or something. And then people see that like it's kind of more mainstream, but video games used to be kind of seen as just for the nerds or just for kids.
Just for the kids.
Yeah. But it's not really like that anymore.
The kids' toys, man. And that's why so many got thrown out in the rubbish. Like
exactly.
Ends up at the salvos. It's just the kids' toys. They don't want to play these toys anymore. Just what do you do with kids' toys?
Yeah. It'd be interesting to know like the percentage of stuff that just ended up gone forever by being chucked out.
Especially
sitting
like
in a landfill.
Those McDonald's toys, like I know it sounds silly, but like there's people who like cherish them because like of like an experience they had with them or whatever. Oh, the Snoopy collection,
one was a huge deal at the time.
Yeah, I remember like the X-Men ones where like they had like cars or something. Yeah, and they used to connect together in cars. It was amazing.
Dude, cool. I don't even know if they do toys anymore, man.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Oh, they do? Oh, yeah. You've got kids, You got the kids like, Daddy, I want to have a meal. You're like, I want it too. I want it too.
Yeah, you just brought us here for the toy, didn't you, son? Like, little punk, eat your chips.
You get apple slices now.
Oh, is that right?
Man, what kind of parent takes their kid to McDonald's to get apple slices? You have McDonald's is supposed to be a bloody a treat,
Yeah, well, Eric gets McNuggets, so...
So he should. Put your foot down, Neil. Oh, man. Talking about, like, finding good deals, like, just the other day, because I go on Facebook Marketplace, and it's like an addiction, because something new pops up here and there.
Yep.
So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and there was a boxed Mega Drive for $30. Like, that's maybe a quarter of what it, maybe even less.
Yeah.
And it was only up, you can see, like, listed 46 minutes ago. And I messaged, I was like, all right, I can pick up this afternoon. She's like, there's 3 people in front of you.
Whoa.
2 or 3. Like, she said you're third in line, I think.
Whoa.
And I was like, oh, yeah, you really got to be quick. There's people that are just fast. And you can set up alerts and stuff like that. So I just said, well, let me know if it falls through, because people are really unreliable on Marketplace. But when it comes to retro stuff, like, people want it.
Yeah.
They'll drive like half an hour to go get it.
Yeah.
If it's for $30, because they can just chuck that on eBay now for like or keep it,
Yep.
know, for
Yeah,
their
yeah.
collection, and that's a find. $30.
That's insane. Yeah.
They didn't know what they had, and you can tell by the description. Old video game console, circa 1995. But if it's like someone who knows, like boxed Sega Mega Drive,
Yep.
good condition,
Manual.
works, manual, comes with controller.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't know, like
Yeah.
old game machine.
That's it.
Pick it up whenever. Yeah. Nah, we'll wait. I guess we'll wait for Neil. Come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Definitely. Yep.
We're pretty much done. Man, we're
cool.
like
Yep.
probably. I'm gonna ask see if Neil wants to tell his pissing his pants story.
We haven't talked about downsizing too much.
Oh yeah,
we have a bit.
yeah. No, we'll
Yeah.
go with that, and then we'll go the story. I'll ask you about
Yeah.
yeah.
No, we've sort of gone into it, haven't we?
A little.
Like saying why I am downsizing.
Yeah. Mike, do you want to tell us a little bit about why you're downsizing and sort of what that process, where you're at with that process?
Yeah. All right. So I started off with the Nintendo NES.
Yep.
And so the downsize is going to happen. I'm keeping all the consoles I really love and have a real connection with.
Yep.
And like the ones that I owned, I guess, as a kid.
Yeah.
So like
Before you really collected.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
more
yeah.
just you wanted to play games.
That's it. Yeah.
Right.
So my PS1 collection is the main section of my collection.
That is
Okay.
a hot collection.
Yeah.
It is hot. I've seen those
sexy
shelves.
as,
That
yeah.
is shelf porn.
Yeah. I wish I could have all just the labels facing frontwards. So.
Yeah.
maybe I'll have enough room so I can do that
Yeah,
one
maybe
time.
downsizing will mean that.
Yeah, that's it.
Ooh.
That's it. And really show off like the nice bits that I
Dude.
really love.
Yeah, the artwork.
So the consoles that I picked up to try them out, to play the games that I'd heard about, maybe those ones, and I've enjoyed them. And those ones that I've enjoyed, and I've played the games I wanted to play. Like,
Right.
and a bonus of being able to downsize them is being able to move to a mini console, so I can play it on a HD TV.
Yeah.
And the mini consoles are great. The
Yeah.
NES Mini, the SNES Mini, the PS1 Mini, you can hack and put every console on it you want, every
Yeah.
game.
Every game.
I was going to say,
Same
have you done
controller.
that?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
So I'm going to wait until I have the urge. Once this console that I've sold is gone, when I have the urge to play the game, I'll be like, right, well, today's I'm going to hack this console and get this ROM and put it in and play it.
Nice.
And because I'm not appreciating my consoles all the time, I'm going to wait for that urge to happen.
Yeah.
And as soon as it happens, I'll be like, cool,
Sweet.
time to hack the NES
You've
Mini.
got the tools.
Put like 150 ROMs in it of
Yeah.
the NES games.
And you have the artwork still.
Yeah.
Like the box art and stuff. Like
Yep.
I think you can still have that on the menu with the
Yeah.
hacks, and
Yeah, definitely.
which is a big part of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that makes downsizing a lot easier. So I'm not downsizing just like I'm never going to play them again.
Right.
Downsizing with the option, if I want to play them again, it's the size of a Raspberry Pi inside of a box, basically.
Yeah.
I've got a Raspberry Pi, but it'll be a mini console.
Yeah, and you're
And-
still supporting the industry by
Good
buying
point.
one of these consoles.
Yeah.
You know?
You're paying for Nintendo. You're
I mean, the
paying for
hacking
Sony.
is a bit different, but
It
like,
is, yeah.
I mean, what are you
Yeah.
going to do? You're not. if
It's
they're-
not like they're
yeah.
releasing them on the Mini anyway. kind
No,
of thing,
exactly.
so-
Yeah,
No,
and you have supported the industry a lot, so
Yep.
I mean, we've
Yeah.
all played emulators. Nothing wrong with it.
That's
You know,
right.
if
yeah.
you're not making money off it, you're not going
And-
to spend
and,
that
like-
money anyway on
Yeah.
those games. So, yeah,
And like, imagine having like 20 arcades inside your house. That's not going to happen.
No.
You wouldn't be able to afford it.
no, exactly.
And
Or find
like,
them.
Or find them, yeah. So MAME is like the only option
Yeah.
for most people in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, downsize. Still playing
Yeah,
on a console that
right.
supports them.
And you're still collecting the ones that really
That's
mean
it.
something to you.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. So
Which
I-
is what it should be about, not an obsession just to collect for the sake of
That's it.
collecting. That's what I think.
Yep.
You know, if you enjoy collecting for the sake of collecting, fine. There's no rules. You do
There
what
is
you
some
want.
exceptions in my collection of like stupid, terrible games that I've collected,
Nice.
and that's the only time and I think I might have 4 or 5 games that are so bad I just had to get them
Yeah.
before they end up in the bin at some point from
Right.
not being able to be sold at a salvos
Yeah,
or
yeah.
sold at a cash converters.
Yeah.
So I've got Spice World for PS1.
Oh,
It is
Spice World.
horrible.
That's a game?
Yeah, a Barbie Racing Ride.
Oof.
It is one of the worst things you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, it sounds...
It like gives you this FMV horse racing sequence, and no matter how big your screen, you get like this on your screen to look at, and that's the video. That's where you're playing the game.
What?
It's
Really?
yeah.
Sounds horrible.
I got Rise of the Robots as well for Mega Drive. Which
See,
is
that
one of
sounds
the-
like it would be good.
But this was like a historical buy because it's an ex rental. So like it
so
has,
that's
it
cool.
has like the photocopied manual and the
That's
manuals-
another
the manual's
side to
stuck-
things,
yeah,
you
it's
know?
Weird. Yeah.
That's you could collect just X rentals, and that'd be a cool collection.
Yeah. And so they're some of the terrible games I bought just for like like, why would someone make this? It's that bad. And if someone ever asks me about it, they can play it.
Yeah.
At my place.
Be like,
Which is
wow,
yeah.
this is terrible.
And I don't know why. I don't think anyone ever would, but it's nice to have.
I would
it.
like. Now, I want to play Barbie just to know now, like Barbie
dude,
Race and
so-
Ride.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome. Awesomely bad.
Yeah, man.
That sounds like a good drunk night at.
Oh, it does.
at
Yeah.
Mike's.
It's something I picked up in like
Yeah,
a
have us
bulk,
over, Mike.
deal of games. I was trying all the games. I'm like, Barbie. I don't know if there's a Barbie game on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, man. Nice. Cool. Well, the one last thing I just remembered I wanted to talk about is, so what your local arcade / barcade or video game store and your local community, what it means to you. I was talking to my mate who I work with and work for the other day, and he mentioned, we were talking about, like, because we're at Netherworld right now recording this. We miss Netherworld as it was, where it's open and everyone can interact and play games and compete and competitions,
Hang out.
chat, eat, chat, all that. You
High
know,
five.
like, yeah, dude, high five, like touch each other, you know, with high fives and
Yeah.
nothing sus. And he mentioned, is like, yeah, well, you know, it's a church, and it just clicked to me like, wow, that is what, because I'm not a religious person, but Netherworld to me is the closest thing to a church. Like, it's where people who all believe in the same thing come together. Worship sounds a bit dramatic, but like basically we do. We worship video games. We love them.
Yep.
We all
Pinball.
talk. We have similar values in terms of like what we enjoy doing and similar interests. Yeah, games or pinball, like, and that's to me like what Netherworld is, and I think a lot of people could relate to that. And I just sort of want to say a thanks to Netherworld and any arcade out there that's created this environment where people like us would never have met each other. You know, like, maybe I would have bought something off you guys off Gumtree, but if Netherworld didn't exist, or One Up or Pincadia never existed, we wouldn't have met.
That's it.
And it brings people together with similar interests in such a like passionate way
Passionate, yeah.
that now we're mates for life.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just amazing. Like, to me, it is like, I understand now. I understand religious people more because I feel like Netherworld's like a church. Maybe that sounds a bit dramatic, but to me, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm like, definitely. There's like, particularly Netherworld for all three of us. Like, it's not just a bar; it's a family.
Yes,
That's a community.
That's the other thing.
I sent a message out to Dan, just being like, "Hey, man, it's been forever since I've seen you. Like, how are you going?"
same.
You know?
Yeah,
Stack
yeah,
with
yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Stack?
Dan Stacks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doivid, you know, like just people like that, you know, like just people you would just
Doivid
run
is
into.
Netherworld.
Yeah. Tyson, you know, like
Tyson,
there's
yeah.
people like, especially Tyson.
Gary,
Yeah.
He was the heart of like the Netherworld arcade scene
He
for a
was,
long
he
time when
was,
he was
yeah.
doing those monthly arcade stuff.
Arcade Club?
Yeah,
Once a
Arcade
month?
Club.
Tyson Hargreaves, legend.
Yeah, shout out Tyson.
Yeah.
I'll have him on the show for sure soon. Or we'll have him now that we've got co-hosts.
Oh,
we'll have him
yeah.
on the show.
But yeah, like I think everyone like here would have like. I sent a message to Jimmy and Ben, just being like, "How can we help? You know, what can we do?
Nice,
you know,
man.
like
Yeah.
it's and like
Nice.
I think that shows and like." Just asking the bar staff, you know, like, how have you guys been going? How have you been getting by? Can you get on the job? You know, like, and that
you're on
kind
the
of stuff. And,
job keeper thing.
yeah, and I think that just that kind of shows what it means to us. You know,
Yeah, it's
like,
not just a place you go to get what you want out of it. You want to give back.
Dude, it's cheers. It's cheers. Like,
It
let's
is.
just say it.
Everybody knows your name. It is, man.
Tyson is dead. What is it? Ted Danson.
He is Tyson Danson.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's and like
true.
it reaches out across the community. Like Stephen at One Up, like
good
Pincadia, you know.
Yeah,
like,
shout out Tanya. Shout out Stephen.
Yeah,
man.
Ben from 1989.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mate.
everything.
Thanks for talking to me before I gave me some good luck, man.
Oh, nice.
You.
Oh,
That's a load of shit.
All right.
Oh, that was one of the locals who comes to
The cleaner.
The cleaner.
Yeah.
He's known as the cleaner, and he is a beast at games.
Time Pilot, yeah.
Time Pilot, yeah.
Frogger.
Frogger,
Monster.
man, and Armadar. I've seen him play that as well.
No. Worst game ever.
Such a cool name too, the cleaner.
Yeah.
It's so like mysterious.
So like mob style.
Yeah, it is.
Mafia.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's badass.
I literally thought he was a myth.
No, he's
I
real.
thought the whole time because I've only like prior to American Battle of the Arcades, you know.
Oh yeah,
the
Battle,
Bodum.
yeah, USA, yeah.
Yeah, everyone talking about him. His scores up on the board. I'm like, I see, it's probably just Dave's coming in and he's awesome at Frogger, so he's smashing out scores and putting the cleaner up.
Yeah.
And I came in one time and Jimmy's like, oh yeah, and the cleaner's been in. I'm like, oh really? Oh really?
Yeah, sure he has,
he's like,
Jimmy.
Yeah, that's the cleaner over there. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh man. Yeah, so. Sorry, man. The family.
Yeah, no, it's a massive
Family
family.
feel, like-
yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
that's more appropriate than like a church, but to me, like that made sense. Like where a bunch of us congregate, kind of weekly
Yeah.
Pretty much weekly.
to have similar interests and talk and do things.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
And like a big part of that is like Ben and Jimmy giving a shit about their
Totally.
not just like they don't just give a crap about like us, but they care deeply about their staff.
oh man,
There's
there's no other bar that has this regular of a staff in any bar maybe in the world that I've seen. Like that has staff retention at this rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everyone who was here from the start, basically, like majority of people are still here.
Yeah.
And that adds to the whole family thing. Like you come in and it's like, yeah, there's regular people,
Yeah.
regular staff, regular customers, and it's like cheers, yeah, everybody knows your name.
Yeah, for sure. And like it's a huge part of it because like I don't want to be served by a random. I want to be served by Mitch, or I want to be served by Kate or someone that you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you have a little chat.
Yeah.
You're
And
helping
you sort of learn their gaming interest as well.
Yeah, and they ask you like, "Oh, what are you playing today?"
Yeah,
it's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
The answer's always Donkey Kong, but yeah, for me, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Give me all the beers. I'm playing Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'm stressed. Yeah, it's
So
true.
yeah, that's my take on it. Yeah, it's
Dude, totally.
it's more than it's more than a bar. I know it sounds soapy or
Yeah.
whatever,
No, but it is.
And it's like we were saying earlier about how much time and effort Jimmy and Ben put into run this place and to make it a fun place and to make it a welcoming place and to make it a place for the nerds to come and hang and enjoy what
everyone
they
feels
do.
welcome from any walk
Yeah.
of life, no matter what color, shape, interests you have, whatever you are. Like it doesn't matter. You feel welcome here, and it's beautiful.
And that's created the community of love back for Netherworld because they put so much heart and soul into making it the way it is. Yeah.
Yes, man, they are just incredible. Like I wanted to say like shout out to the staff of Netherworld. Like thank you guys so much for being so good and providing such an amazing place where you're making so many people happy. Shout out to the owners, whoever's involved. I don't know,
Like giving back,
but I know Ben and Jimmy giving back to the gaming.
We're
community.
here right now.
Yeah,
They let us come here and do a podcast about gaming.
They don't have to
Which
do
is,
that. No,
Yeah.
that's an inconvenience. The staff have we've seen as we're doing this, the staff have been purposely quiet because they don't want to interrupt. And we're not paying to do this. Jimmy's just let us come in here and do this
and let us
amazing.
play games as well. Like so, you had your run on Gallagher. and you
Yeah,
had
we
your
streamed on Donkey Kong.
The cleaner's out there doing time pilot runs.
Yeah, and it's just I can't say enough, man. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it. The first time I ever came to Netherworld, it was on my I think it was my 28th birthday. Could have been 29th. So like 3 years ago or whatever. It was like 6 months after they opened. I hadn't been yet because I was living in Canada, and I came and got pretty wasted and had amazing food, drinks, had a great time. I didn't want to go anywhere else. The rest of my a lot of my mates and people who were there, they wanted to go to other places, and I was like, why? What are you doing? I want to play ice cold beer because I'd never played it before, and it was like addictive. I want to play Pac-Man. I want to play these games all night. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
And I still had coins left, and the next day, hungover as hell.
Yeah.
I got back on the train. The very next day, I got back on the train. I came back at like whatever time it was in the afternoon with my coins, and I came the very next day, man. I just came back and played again, and like ever since then, I've just been like obsessed in a healthy way. I think like with coming here, having a good time, seeing the staff. Like I can come here and not even talk to people. Just say hello, and everyone respects that. Like they get that. Okay, maybe you want to socialize, maybe you just want to play games, and you don't feel bothered.
That's it.
Just somehow they've created this magical vibe that everyone just gets it, and everyone has a great time, and everyone feels welcome. And I just love it. Yeah. I'm a big fanboy of Netherworld for sure. We're all wearing Netherworld shirts too, which is really cool. Like they even, we all were adjudicators at BPAC, Brisbane Pinball and Arcade Collective, for the
Australian Arcade Championships.
Yeah, AAC, Australian Arcade Championships. So, they didn't have to trust us to do that and be part of that, but they just put their faith in people and understand like that we all love it and they're part of it and want us to be part of it, and it's great.
And they like
I feel like I'm talking way too much.
Through them knowing us as regulars, they know that we want to give back as well. So we do help out where we can, because they know it's our it's our main interest.
It is
this stuff.
Yeah,
is the gaming, pinball for some of the other guys, and we will put our heart into it if we are asked to help, because I find it a privilege if I'm asked to help.
Oh, absolutely.
Or to do anything.
It's like being part of the legacy of what Netherworld is, or like what retro gaming is in this community. Like you want to be part of that.
Yeah, totally.
And if I ever set a record on something, I want to do it here.
Yeah.
I'd love to get my kill screen here on Donkey Kong.
What better place to do it live at your local arcade?
Man, it would I'd probably cry.
Like, man,
talking about it now, like I'd feel emotional.
Sure.
Like,
you put that
goosebumps.
Hours into something. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't know what my life would look like if Netherworld never opened, because so much of my time and energy compared to what it used to be now is focused towards retro games.
Yep. Being
at Netherworld, competing. Some of my best mates, you guys, like never would have met you guys. Like people like I'm a skateboarder and I skate with Aaron.
Yep.
And I skate with
Kibby.
Luke Bushell, Kibby, Johnny.
All
these guys. They're all gamers. I met them all through Netherworld, and now I skateboard with them. Like, I mean, I feel like if Netherworld never opened, I'd be kind of lonely. Like, I do have some mates from high school and stuff, but like, I have so many more friends now and so much more of a community, and just because
there's like
of
a whole new friends group just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, man. Yeah, just big shout out to the staff and owners. Like, I could probably go through everyone, but I don't want to, because I might miss someone who, who's new or I don't know their name. But like, just know that we really appreciate you guys. Everything you do, working till 2 a.m, dealing with drunk people who aren't regulars, who don't treat you respectfully. We appreciate everything you guys do, and we love you all, like, seriously and sincerely. Yeah. Oh man.
Well said.
Ties it up.
Well said.
Beautiful.
Well, next time, Neil, you're going to have to tell that story about Fish in the Pants, because I don't think we have enough time.
All right.
Just stay tuned. Yeah. For next time, Neil has a story about pissing his pants when he was younger.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Anything you guys want to add, or how do you feel?
I think you summed it up pretty well, Chief.
Sweet. Man, the booze makes me speak well.
And Netherworld's currently open for pick-up food and drinks.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
Get onto the Bopple app.
And
Bopple app.
And they open on Thursday for like a dine-in thing as well.
Yeah, this week coming up is Thursday. They'll be open for you reserve a table and come and dine in experience.
Play some Mario Kart.
Yep.
Probably
limited numbers.
Maybe console of choice. I don't know.
I'm not sure it's console of choice, but there'll be consoles at some of the tables.
Consoles.
If you want a console,
check out the Facebook. Give them a call or a message.
Yeah,
they'll respond, and support your locals, guys. Whether it's Netherworld or anything else, support
local
whatever
fish and chips
you can.
or local pizza joint.
That's it. Everyone's struggling, so if you can, support your locals. And Neil?
No, that's it, man. You cleaned it up. Well done.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. And that was the 6th episode, but the first one with the new trio, I guess, of co-hosts. So thanks, guys.
No dramas.
I freaking love doing this.
Yeah.
Like, whether we get one listener or a million, I don't care. This is great.
Hanging out and talking about it is like the best part.
Hell yeah. Let's go play some Donkey Kong Galaga, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You!
I'm keeping that.